Thank you, Carolyn. It's hot in here, just like the last couple weeks in SBA building. It's really intense. Good evening. Before I begin the sermon, I would like to talk about competitive advantage. Here at the PSU School of Administration, we students have learned that competitive advantage often comes from valuable, rare, and costly to imitate resources. For me, that indispensable resource has been my parents, Patrick and Joan Fulton. And I think it's safe to say that all of us graduates owe a great deal to the parents, family, and friends assembled here today who have supported us throughout our studies. Let us show them our appreciation with a round of applause. What a journey. It's been a memorable few years of classes with a really tough year for business and the economy mixed in. Can't we just hide out in school a little bit longer, at least until the unemployment rate's down by 5%? No, I think that despite the daunting job market and difficult economic conditions out there, my fellow graduates and I are excited about the opportunities that will be opening up for us, or that we'll open up for ourselves in a new, improved, and more sustainable economy. We are a hopeful and optimistic bunch. That is evidenced by 4 babies born this year to members of our cohort alone. And I'm sure that they are joined by new mothers and fathers from the other cohorts. Over the course of my studies here at PSU, I've developed so much admiration for the other graduate students I've had the pleasure of knowing. Juggling the demands of school with family and work is not easy. But what I appreciate the most about our graduating class, and I think this has been one of the biggest assets of attending school here at Portland State, is the diversity. Our class comes from all over. We have taken many different paths to get here and arrived at PSU seeking masters in business to accomplish different things. We have a banker from Nigeria, a competitive rowing coach from San Diego, sous chef from Lake Oswego, Chinese tour guide from Denmark, ranking officers in the U.S. and South Korean armies, and some of the brightest students from Germany. And we have among us industrious employees from Nike, Intel, Vesta, OHSU, the Portland Art Museum, and wealth management firms. Some of us came here to learn finance, some to become consultants, and others came to work in the green building industry. And a few of us, myself included, came to PSU with the intent of fundamentally changing the way business is conducted. Many of us here have activism in our hearts. I came here to find a way to harmonize business with conservation of our precious lands and natural resources. And as an aside, it seemed preordained that I should move to Oregon to accomplish this goal, since my first impression of this kind of activism came from the movie Goonies. In Goonies, if you don't recall, a handful of kids from Astoria take it upon themselves to save their neighborhood from some greedy developers who want to turn it into yet another golf course. But today, I have the business skills to accomplish that same result without a one-eyed pirate's treasure. So now if I had that treasure, I'd probably just blow it all on Oregon lottery scratcher tickets. But no, I digress. My point is that despite how diverse this group of students arrived here, whether we came from Wilsonville or Ecuador, we have all had affirmed through our studies and through recent events that business is a powerful instrument. And as future business leaders, we are obliged to practice it responsibly. Some articles have placed some of the blame for the subprime mortgage debacle at the doorstep of business schools. Too much attention paid to short-term value and too little attention paid to values. But I have to say that the faculty of PSU School of Business Administration are not responsible for perpetuating that short-sighted, business-as-usual way of thinking. Instead, professors like Tom Johnson, Carolyn McKnight, and Daryl Brown, just to name a few, have challenged us to take our level of awareness to new heights, to rethink the balance between doing well in quarterly earnings statements and doing good in our community, which for our class is the world. We emerge today as graduates who recognize a profound opportunity to change the world through business principles, not through activism, but by working within the corporate sector, by strengthening nonprofits and public agencies, and by starting socially focused new ventures. This won't be easy. It'll require courage. The courage to try something new and to possibly fail in the attempt. It'll take persistence in recognizing that change may not occur instantaneously, but be incremental. And it'll take awareness. Awareness that what may have worked in the past may not work indefinitely in a world that by its very nature is constantly evolving. As Associate Dean Scott Marshall recently suggested, we must look for feedback to know that we're on the right track. Feedback not in the form necessarily of metrics like the Dow Jones stock price or a balanced scorecard, but something more unfiltered and less susceptible to bias and manipulation. We will embrace competition and demand results, but not at the expense of our neighbors or the environment. Hopefully the era of Ayn Rand's naked self-interest is over, and a new era has begun in which we think first about the value our work adds to society. We'll heed the words uttered 2,500 years ago by Confucius, who said, "When you are laboring for others, let it be with the same zeal as if it were for yourself. And when prosperity comes, do not use all of it." The motto of Portland State University is "Let knowledge serve the city, and by extension its citizens," and that's what we plan to do. Graduates, savor this achievement, and let's get to work. Thank you, administration, thank you, faculty, and congratulations, graduates.